Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and improve your life. This is episode 178 of the Daily 180, and I am going to be sharing with you, continuing our series on the rules. I mentioned before yesterday that the idea behind rules is somewhat interesting to me because I think that it's very useful for us to have some rules, some things that guide us in the way that we go about our day, the way that we go about our life. Rule number two for me is pivotal. Rule number two is never limit family to blood. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I'm an only child. Living in the state of Utah, where I do, that's an oddity. I know in some places in the world, it's not so much of an oddity to be an only child, but here in the state of Utah, it's an oddity. Most of my friends had brothers and sisters. In fact, I don't. I can think of. I can think of well, I really can't think of anybody that I grew up with that was an only child. I knew several of them that were only sons, or maybe only daughters, but I didn't know very many people that were only children, just me. As a result, when it came time for looking for people who could support you in playground skirmishes and those kinds of things, I needed to look for friends, not for brothers and sisters, not for other kinds of people that could look out for me. But I'll never forget the day that one of my friend's older brothers saw me in a little bit of trouble, a little bit of a difficulty with some older boys who were picking on me, who were making my life a little bit difficult. And as he was driving along, he saw me in that situation. He slammed on the brakes. He got out of the car and he looked over at him and he said, "If you guys want to take on somebody, why don't you take on somebody that's your own size? Why don't we talk?" And they stopped, and he looked at me and he said, "Go ahead and go home, Todd." And I said, "Thanks. Appreciate it, Brent." And made my way home. At that moment in time, I realized that there was something about family that I didn't understand and that I didn't have. I didn't have people that were really looking out for me. Fast forward the clock, I recognize that family has all kinds of things that they can do for us. But I also recognize that as an only child, I had a unique opportunity to pick my family. There are people now that I know, brothers that I have, that are brothers not because we were born in the same blood group, but because we've chosen to be brothers, because we unite with each other, because we're focused, because we're connected, because we are a group of individuals who've chosen to look out for each other when things go good and when things go bad. They are as much a part of my family as anybody that I would have been born with. Never limit family to blood. Just because they're a friend, just because they're sociality, just because they share some space with you but didn't share a womb, doesn't mean that they're not your family. If you'd fight for them, if you'd die for them, they're family. And if it goes back, certainly they're family for you as well. My name is Todd Wente. This has been the Daily 180. Hopefully, this has helped you think about some people that maybe you recognize them more as part of your family now than just social acquaintances. And if you do, give them a hug, tell them hello, tell them you love them and that you appreciate what they do for you. Go forth and conquer. We'll see you next time.